What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this tonight we're going to be talking about what exactly went down on Friday night SmackDown or Smack It Down, like everybody loves calling it. But yeah, we got so many great matches and moments that happened. We got a pretty strong segment between Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. 3 tremendous tag team matches, even though there's too many of those stipulated matches on tonight's card. But yeah, we also got a very I guess a satisfying main event, like with the championships being on the line, which that being the WWE Tag Team Championship between A-Town Down Under and DIY. And we got another strong message from the Bloodline, like which they bark right back at Cody Rhodes and him. And yeah, it had me convinced like who exactly is going to win this match on there, which we're going to talk about that in very shortly. But yeah, we're going to start off with a very interesting and entertaining segment between all the members, all the participants for tomorrow night's Money in the Bank Premium Live event. We'll start off with Jey Uso. Yeah, it's very rare to hear that name on SmackDown these days. Well, that's because he's one of the qualifiers on the Money in the Bank ladder match, and you know what that means. So they can show up anytime they want when it's the show right before the pay-per-view premium live event. And he could just cash in on a certain nightmare friend of his that's currently holding the WWE title on SmackDown. But let me know in the comments about that down below if you think he's going to win. But now this is where we got Jey Uso. Then was right in the ring. This is where then he was like, hey, everybody, like in Toronto, like the Bloodline is now in your city or something like that. And then this is where he okay, let's start off. Let's see. And Jey Uso was out there. He went out, cut a promo saying like, "Hey, everybody, like you're gonna see your future money. You're seeing your future Money in the Bank winner right here." Which he's gonna be calling it Money in the what is it? Money the new Mr. Money in the Bank or something like that. And then something like we're just what he said. It was something like that, yeah. And then this is where then he went on saying and then everybody thinks so. Like, let me know with saying yeet, and then this is where the fans started saying yeet with him until LA Knight came out in the ring. This is where then we got LA Knight then said yeah, that was very that's very yeah, that's very impressive what you're saying right now, and that and that could be happening, like, but like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm like, what he said, LA Knight said, like, yeah, that's let me talk to you. This is where he was like, yeah, I'm very impressed by what you're saying right now, but the only thing, the problem is they won't be saying yeet tomorrow night. They're gonna be saying yeah, and then they're I can you're right, but I gotta admit, like you're in a like you're like the what's that? I'll say the underdog favorite. He said something like that. This is where That's where he's like, and I should know about that because last year, like I was in that same position, like when I was in my first Money in the Bank ladder match, but not this year because I'm gonna be the number one favorite, and I'm gonna walk out of there as Mr. Money in the Bank, and what everybody's saying, and the fans started saying L.A. Knight, yeah, and then that's where we got the other guys came out like Chad Gable and. He said it was Chad Gable and then it was what's his name? Oh yeah, Carmelo Hayes first. This is where he was like, I know none of y'all are both wrong. They're not gonna be saying they're not gonna be saying yeah or yeet. Like they're gonna be saying him is your new Money in the Bank briefcase. This is where fans start saying you're not him hilariously. This is where he got in the ring. This is where then he got into the face of Jey Uso and LA Knight. But before he can even say anything else, this is where Chad Gable then came in and declared he's gonna be Mr. Money in the Bank. And I was like, yeah, it's obvious that one of these guys are lying because they cannot both just say that and they can follow up on their words. Like only one of them can be like that, and then this is where only can do that or do that. This is where we got Andrade came out as well to declare his spot, and then this is where we got Drew McIntyre finally came out. This is where he's like, I thought you know better this in Canada because he's like, I thought y'all are better than this Canada. You're here. Chanting for CM Punk, but CM Punk's not even here. So why you're chanting for that loser? But his family is gonna always be with me in my left wrist. And then this is where then he said, like, you know what? Speaking of that, speaking of your favorite loser, like I got something to say about him, like the violence and the victim of Bond Punk, like that's what exactly is gonna happen to each and every one of you if you get in my way tomorrow. Well, I'm not sure if Andrade was there, because there was only 4 guys, and then Drew McIntyre happened to come in there afterwards. Up here, afraid I apologize for that, by the way. But no Andrade wasn't there. He was standing right in the corner. This is where Drew McIntyre was like, I'm gonna address that right here, right now, about tomorrow. Hello, L idiot, and I was like. I'll be damned. This is why Drew McIntyre is the greatest heel in WWE right now because he just know how to speak his mind and knows how to speak it very well. And then this is where the fans start chanting CM Punk. They're not giving no damns what Drew McIntyre saying. If the man that's gonna be in this ladder match. Be in this ladder match against the 5 other guys that were in the ring. That does not give a damn like him, what his cousin has to say. Well, continuing at this time. But it's where then we got Drew McIntyre saying, well, I feel bad about you right now. This is where then Chad Gable like, what do you mean by that? And then this is where he's like, and you, Mello, you're gonna, He said in Mello, it'll Carmelo Hayes is you're saying that because you're taller than me and you think you can intimidate me because you're 2 times taller than me. And then this word then Drew McIntyre ignored Mello. This word is like, and you, L.A. Knight, and the fans said, yeah. And this word then Drew McIntyre there's not gonna be no words gonna be here. There's not gonna be no word yeah and tomorrow. There's gonna be no Night and you, my worst enemy, Jey Uso, staring right at him, face to face, across from each other diagonally. And it is where then Drew McIntyre that said a very interesting question about Jey Uso. How did he got across the border if he had some legal trouble? And I was like, oh, I was like, he really went there. Like, I'm afraid he did so. And then this is where Jey Uso did not like that. That's where it set him off. This is where this is where we got Andrade that came in attacking from behind. I was like, man, like, why didn't you do this when he called you an idiot? But I know that matters because he attacked, he hit him with that maneuver. But this is where we got Jey Uso hit a super kick on Carmelo Hayes. This is where we got Chad Gable hit a German suplex on the LA Knight. That's where then we got Andrade to hit a boot right into Chad Gable's face. This is where we got Jey Uso throw Andrade into the left side. He tried to go for a high-stakes splash, but this is where Drew McIntyre hit him with a big elbow right to his face before he can even land on the outside. This is where Drew McIntyre was standing tall. This is where he was like, this was gonna happen less than 24 hours from now, and then this is where then he then starts stomping his feet. This is where then he was like, you know what, like I to get ready. This is where he hits him with a spinning power slam, but this is where Jey Uso flipped right out of it. This is where LA Knight didn't help him out by hitting the right hand. When fans like, yeah, when he hit with a right hand, and this is where we got Jey Uso then hit right back at him with the fans chanting yeet, and then it was the battle of the Y word words, I guess you could say the Y words, I should say it like yeah. That's where they were playing, like, I guess you could say wrestling volleyball, because they were going back and forth, fist back at the fist. But instead of hitting each other, they hit Drew McIntyre. This is where we got LA Knight and Jey Uso and did a double clothesline onto Drew right on the outside, the ring side there in the left side. This is where they went face to face. This is where they started declaring their spots as the WWE as the what's that, the WWE what's that, as WWE's 2024 Money in the Bank briefcase holder. But which one of these guys are going to be the winners of tomorrow night's pay-per-view premium live event, can be known as Mr. Money in the Bank? Let me know down in the comment section right down below, and I'm going to talk about that later on in this video. But this is where we got Chelsea Green and Bailey went into each other. This is where then Chelsea Green was like, oh, my best friend is supposed to be the WWE Women's Champion, but that incompetent referee ejected me out of the match, and then that's what distracted my my best friend Little Miss Piper, like, the match. And then this is where I was like, this excuse does not make any kind of sense. Like, even if you try to make it sound sensical, it just cannot sound like it. Like, it's like saying like that the reason, like, it's like saying like the reason why you never had a like for an example, like a wrestler that never had a match, like the reason why they don't have a match is because of, I don't know what's the horrible. The reason why you have a match is because I don't know what to say. It's because it's not a WWE Championship match. Oh, I guess you could say something like that. The reason why that's like saying that a wrestler saying the reason why not having a match because it's not for a championship. Like, you got to work yourself way into that in that spot as a contender for the championship, whether if it's for a mid card, world championship, tag team championship, wherever the championship division is. That's like saying that. So yeah, that was 2 + 2 = potatoes of the night. But yeah, this is where Bailey was like before she before she ran into Chelsea Green, this is where she was interviewed by Kathy Kelly. This is where she was like, whoever wins that briefcase, I'm gonna make sure to be prepared for them, because I won the Money in the Bank briefcase 5 years ago and became the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Championship. Before she can even respond to that, that's when Chelsea Green interrupted. That's why she said all that stuff. Bailey responded by saying okay, the next time you run into me, please make sure you're actually the women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And then this is where then we got Piper Niven that attacks her from behind, and then beat her up in an assaulting manner. And this is where this was said and this is where Bailey then met up with Nick Aldis. That's where she asked for a match against Piper later on, which she did like. And let me tell you, it was pretty entertaining. Like the best way to describe the match. Well, even though I would say the tag team championship match was the match for the night, obviously. But I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. That was in the main event. I'll say that Bailey versus Piper was, I guess, second spot, and then Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly gets third. Jade and Bianca gets fourth. But anyways, but let me know in the comment section right down below on what's your take on this feud between Chelsea and Bailey, which Bailey told Naomi this. Is where Naomi's like if you don't mind, I'm gonna be in ringside with you tonight. This is where then Bailey thanked her. This is where they were getting ready for that match, which was right before the main event. This is where we got Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits came out facing off against Pretty Deadly. This will start off with Montez Ford. Start off with Kit Wilson. Irish whipped him in the right side, hit him with a shoulder tackle, but Kit Wilson eventually got back up. But this is where we got Montez Ford managed to hip toss him right in the middle of the ring. Elton Prince tried to run up and try to attack him, but he hip tossed him as well. This is where he tags in Angelo Dawkins. This is where they double Irish Kit Wilson. They did a double hip toss. Once they double Irish whip him in the bottom corner, Dawkins tried to go for the pin, but this is where got Kit Wilson and kick out of it. This is where then we got them doing a little tag team maneuvers until Pretty Deadly then Pretty Deadly brought AD over to the bottom left side, bottom right side is where they did some couple of double team typical maneuvers, and got him in a disadvantage kind of situation until we got Angelo Dawkins countering one of them, which I'm assuming it was Kit Wilson, tags in his partner MF. No, not the swear word, but Montez Ford. This is where he's starting some comeback moves on the Elton Prince, and even hitting him with accidental right to the back. This is where we got Elton Prince then pushes him right to the right side. He ducks out of a clothesline from him. This is where then he goes for a flying clothesline right onto Kit Wilson. This is where we got Kit Wilson get hit with a flapjack. This is where Elton Prince tried to go for a back suplex. Montez Ford flipped right out of it. Hit the super kick right in the midsection. Kicked him up right in his head. Hit a step up Giri right onto the Pretty Deadly member. This is where Montez Ford then go for a back suplex right onto him. This is where he roll up and did a kip up. This is where he started flexing his guns like, yeah! And then this is where then he had the standing moonsault like if he was his wife, the EST, where she was in the tag team match in their respective division. But this is where we got somehow Montez Ford tried to go up in the heavens, try to go for frog splash. Elton Prince stopped him, tried to go for a top suplex. But this is where we got Montez Ford pushes him out of the way. And then this is where we got Kit Wilson then what's the name? Kit Wilson asked Elton Prince tried to ask Kit Wilson to get in the ring with him, and get boosted up right up in the shoulders. This is where he did so. This is where we got them going for some kind of like a self-electric chair suplex of doom maneuver. But before they even know it, this is where we got Angelo Dawkins quickly tag himself in the match. This is where we got this is where Montez Ford then moved out of the way. This is where we got Angelo Dawkins hit a swanton bomb onto Elton. This is where we got him trying to go for a cover, but this is where we got Angelo Dawkins then go for a pin. He probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling Elton, because he went for the save. He tried to throw Angelo Dawkins out of the ring. This is where Angelo Dawkins threw him instead. This is where he hits him with a stroking right forearm. But this is where we got Kit Wilson try to roll him up with the most devastating move and all the professional wrestling, the surprise roll up. This is where we got to go for a clothesline, but this is where Angelo Dawkins ducked out of the way once he whipped him right into the bottom corner rope. He pounced shoulder tackle him right onto his tag partner, what's his name? Elton Prince. To the Elton, this is where we got Montez Ford's like, everybody ready? Let's see Super Tez. This is where he flew and did a front flip over both members of Pretty Deadly. This is where then he threw Kid Wilson back in the ring. This is where we got Angelo Dawkins going for a sky high spine buster. This is where we got Montez Ford going for the up to heavens on the upper left side. This is where then he hit him with the frog splash. That's where he rolled into a pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match, the Street Profits. And I'll give a ginormous congratulations to the Street Profit members. And what are your thoughts on this match? Let me know in the comments section right down below. This is where they got their hands raised by the referee along with B-Fab. This is where they're like, yeah, we're like us as the future tag team champions. This is where we move on to the next slide. This is where we got a tag team match between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell next. This is where this was a pretty good, decent match. It's where we got start off with, I believe, Jade Cargill, or was it it was Jade Cargill and Candice LeRae. This is where she toyed with her a little bit until she tagged in Indy Hartwell. This is where she did the same thing to her at the offense, like beat her down all around the ring until we got Candice LeRae tagging herself in the ring. This is where we got Indy Hartwell with a big boot right into the face of what's her name, Jade Cargill. This is where she took advantage of this, hit a senton on her back, that signature like maneuver. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but she only got a 2 even. This is where we got Candice LeRae did not like that. She started hitting right hands right to the head of Jade Cargill, flips right over onto Indy Hartwell. This is where Indy Hartwell picks her up, toss her face first right onto Jade Cargill. This is where for a splash. This is where we got Indy Hartwell. Then go for a pin, but she only got a 2.1 count. This is where we got her trying to grab on what's her name, Jade Cargill's leg, but she was too much for her. She kicks her out of the way right into the right side. Bianca Belair started hitting some shoulder tackles onto both Indy and Candice. This is where she hits a missile drop kick. This is where then she pick up for a spine buster. This is where then we got him go for under spinning hook suplex. This is where she slammed him right to the ground. This is where the Bianca Belair then go for a spear right to the midsection of Candice LeRae. This is where she go right up on top of her on the upper. The lower left side is where she start going for a right hand repeatedly right to the head of Candice LeRae. This is where she got her until 10. This is where we got Indy Hartwell try to charge at her, but this is where Bianca Belair did a backflip dodging her. This is where Indy Hartwell tried to charge at her was it Bianca Belair? This is where he got Indy Hartwell missing her. This is where she accidentally hit her kayfabe mom. This is where Bianca Belair was in the middle of the ring. This is where she started patting her hips. This is where then she was like, if you want to come get it, like saying Taro Olay, like if Indy Hartwell's an angry bull. But this is when she charged her. She didn't need to move out of the way to say Olay. This is where then she hit her with a spine buster right into her back. This is where we got Candice LeRae try to go for a mid-rope sliding hurricane rana, but Bianca picks her up, hits her with that powerbomb facebuster McJig, face first, with Candice LeRae right onto her daughter Indy. This is where she did a kip up, like if she was her husband, like in that tag team match against Pretty Deadly. This is where then Bianca Belair springboards right to the right side, hits a moonsault on the Candice. This is where she try to go for a cover, but this is where LeRae gets the right shoulder up at 2 point. At 2 point, I believe 2 point. I'll say no, 2.7, I believe. This is where then she tags in Jade Cargill. She started cleaning house, start beating everybody up. This is where she nearly had Candice won, like with